Hey guys, it's Emma Vigeling with TYT Politics. I'm doing this guerrilla style because they are actually putting the internet in my apartment and I can't be in there because it's too loud. So the streets of New York City are apparently quieter than the drilling that's going on in my apartment. So I apologize for the shaky cam, but I really wanted to talk to you guys about this today before it passed in the news cycle. Not that many people are really talking about it all. Except in progressive circles. So I hope you guys can hear me. I'm using the trusty mic. So again, this happened on Twitter. It's really not, I would say, the biggest news in terms of policy or anything like that, but what happens on Twitter tends to be trivial. I understand that. And I've always been a big believer in the philosophy that actions speak louder than words, especially words on Twitter. And it's by that same philosophy that I have defended Elizabeth Warren to this audience, or I would say more accurately have been a supporter of Elizabeth Warren. And I think that by voting record, she is by far the second most progressive senator in the country behind Bernie Sanders. Some people would say that she is the most progressive senator by voting record. That's what GovTrack believes. Or that's what they say their statistical analysis finds. By votes, it's not really a question. She does represent the American people. But when it comes down to the wire in terms of political courage, she has a lot of red flags. And it pains me to say this because obviously Elizabeth Warren is someone that should be a progressive ally in many respects. But the 2016 election was a huge disappointment, as was her lack of support of the water protectors for the Dakota Access Pipeline. So anyway, she tweeted this out from her Elizabeth for Mass account. Glad to see the terrific groups Hillary Clinton is supporting. They're doing great work. And she quoted Hillary's tweet where she said, "We're launching Onward Together to encourage people to get involved, organize, and even run for office." So that's Hillary Clinton's new PAC. I replied and said, "I'm a huge supporter of your work in Congress, but how can you so loudly decry money in politics and also support Hillary Clinton's PAC?" That tweet by myself, quoting your tweets is extremely obnoxious, but that actually did really well and got a lot of retweets and likes, etc. So it clearly hit a nerve. What I said, I was specifically referencing Elizabeth Warren's great history with campaign finance. So just recently for her 2018 race, she renewed her pledge from the last election to, quote, keep third-party political groups from dumping buckets of cash into the race. That was the same pledge she took in 2012 versus Scott Brown, her Republican opponent, and she won. So that is a great pledge, and she is renewing it for 2018, which is awesome. In 2016, she raised a ton of money, and you guys might be thinking, wow, that's probably from a lot of corporations. No. She raised $5.9 million in 2016 from the Associated Press. Nearly all of Warren's contributions came from individual supporters, with just 34,000 of it coming from political action committees and other groups. That is a drop in the bucket of the $5.9 million. And last week, what she said about Obama's Wall Street speech, where he made $400,000 to speak to Wall Street, she talked about how disappointing it was and how money was a snake that ran through Washington, etc., etc. And then she goes on Twitter. I don't know if it was some staffer. I don't want to give her that benefit of the doubt, but the staffer, or her, who knows, says that they are supporting Hillary Clinton's PAC. I doubt it was a staffer because this is a pretty big thing to do, and clearly there is a lot of interplay between the Hillary Clinton campaign and Elizabeth Warren's team, as was revealed in WikiLeaks. And Hillary Clinton's group, Onward Together, is exactly what she rails against. It's not like Hillary is starting some grassroots group. This is from Vanity Fair. Last week, Hillary Clinton attended a private dinner at the home of Haim and Cheryl Saban on Thursday night at an event that sources described as a thank you to the 2016 campaign donors and an introduction to her plans to launch a political group, Onward Together. Sources say that the gathering was for about 40 to 50 people, I'm sure all middle-class and poor individuals, including a number who were major donors during her 2016 presidential campaign. Haim Saban was one of Clinton's most prolific donors in her 2008 and 2016 presidential runs, giving directly to her campaign and a super PAC supporting her candidacy Priorities USA action. So obviously, the fact that Haim Saban is involved in this is ridiculous. And not surprising, he ran the smear campaign against Keith Ellison for DNC chair and basically said that Ellison was anti-Semitic, despite being one of the earliest endorsers for the most important Jewish presidential candidate in history, or the most popular the popular presidential Jewish candidate. Oh God, I'm getting tongue-tied. In history. So I just wanted to really come on here and say that it is not lost on me that Elizabeth Warren's political courage is lacking. This was needless. She also shows such poor political instincts. Why do you need to attach yourself to Hillary Clinton? She thinks, and I'm hypothesizing and speculating, that she needs to cozy up to this wing of the party if she wants to have a successful presidential run in 2020. You don't need this wing of the party. God damn it. Just keep your credibility. And it's just frustrating. Like, if you just went by voting records, you would be phenomenal. But she seems to need to do these, like, pliés and puppeteering. I don't know. I'm just thinking of a different kind of performance. But for this wing of the party, even though she rails against the very big banks and has introduced legislation against those very big banks that are supportive of these PACs and Onward Together and Hillary Clinton, et cetera, et cetera. So I don't want the nuance on Elizabeth Warren to get lost in this video, that by voting record, she is phenomenal. Phenomenal. But this is troubling, and it's hypocrisy. And you can call it out, and I did, and I guarantee you one of her staffers saw it, because it's by far the most popular response on this tweet. But we can't shy away from calling out progressives, even if we like 95% of what they do, which is how I feel about Elizabeth Warren. Because it's not a purity test to ask for zero hypocrisy. We want consistency in our leaders. And supporting a PAC like this and supporting big money interests while you are trying to actually get money out of politics, and she has been active in that fight and has walked the walk, is a stunning hypocrisy. And I'm disappointed in Elizabeth Warren. Again, sorry for the terrible backdrop, but yeah, my apartment's a mess right now. Have a great day, guys.